January is not long, you are just broke. This was a tagline I used for one TikTok series I had started for January, just to help people to survive and thrive in January. But tell me why, after 3 to 4 days, I had to stop that series because January was beginning to feel very long for me. I don't know if it is because I started that TikTok series. That was why life said, you think January is not long, right? I'm going to show you that January is long. Because tell me why I am having to spend a whole lot of money. I don't want to give you figures so that it will not seem as if I'm, capping in this video. But I spent a lot of money, and we are just only on the 24th of January. But if I tell you the amount I've spent in this January, even though some of it is on investments, on things that are going to bring me comfort, but I never expected that things will start creeping up. It now feels like a punishment for me saying that January is not long, you are just broke. I still have like 6 days left in January. I don't even know what life is going to bring for me, but hopefully nothing more, because as I am right like this, I have spent so much money, I am tired. But now let's say you are one that has always felt that January is long because you've not really created systems around your money in such a way that you don't really feel it, that January can be very sweet as well. If you are getting 10,000 naira interest every day on maybe your mutual funds, you're getting 18% interest on your treasury bills, you will not really feel it. But for many people, that is not the case. After all, I saw a survey that was carried out by Wise where they said that the average Nigerian does not earn more than 100k. And the funny part was that most of the people that they carried out this survey on were living in Lagos. Lagos, that is as expensive as anything, and yet you're not earning more than 100k. What are you going to use that money to do? Because now you now have to start adjusting so many things. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 things you must do before your January salary comes, so that if you're one that has decided to start taking your finances seriously, you can know what to do to better manage your money and come out victorious this year. Maybe you might even have the chance to oblate in 2026. So let's get right into it. The first thing you need to do is to calculate your net income. When they say net income, what does it mean? Net income basically means your gross minus taxes, and your gross is everything you are going to be earning through the whole of January. Let's focus only on January. What are you earning, like your total? Maybe you have your salary, you have your side hustles, because knowing Nigerians, we have so many side hustles that we can't even save ourselves, but it is very necessary in this economy. So what is your net income after you deduct tax? Because now you know that almost every Nigerian is going to be paying tax. If you are one that you have already positioned yourself in such a way that tax is inevitable for you, you need to know what your net income is. Then you can be able to calculate for what you are going to be needing, what you are going to be wanting, and what you are going to be saving. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 50-30-20 rule, which I have used to manage my finances over the years, of which for the average Nigerian, you might still want to adjust this 50-30-20 rule. For me, I find that what works best for me is 40-15-45. That is what works for me, and 40% is for my needs, 15% is for my wants, and then 45% is for my savings, because this will also depend on the salary you are earning. So before, I used to use the 50-30-20 rule, but now after adjusting it to this one, it feels more feasible because of the position I am now in my workplace, where I'm receiving maybe a higher salary than the average person. So that works, but all that matters is that you adjust the 50-30-20 rule to what match your lifestyle, so that you're able to take care of your needs, your wants, your savings. But for your needs, this should be your basic needs, like your house rent, your groceries, of which groceries we are going to be coming to that. But those basic things that that you can't do without. Second thing you need to do is to categorize your expenses. Like, what are your needs, what are your wants, what are you saving? Because it is important that you have a categorized budget, so that you know what you're going to be spending your money on. Then you are able to save. Unlike those situations where people have to wait till after they've taken care of their needs, their wants, before they are saving, you find that you are never going to save, because most of the time people leave savings for last, but then forgetting that you have to pay yourself first, then every other thing should come after it. That is the only way you are going to be able to put out money for savings or even investing. So this is very important, but you need to categorize your expenses so as to have a better understanding of where your money is going to. Now, after you've categorized your expenses, you need to set financial goals: short-term, long-term goals. Short-term goals are 3 to 5 years, while long-term goals are 5 to 10 years. Maybe your short-term goal might be you want to travel to so country in so years, or maybe you want to retire and you don't have a pension plan. That is a long-term goal. So you need to have this goal out so that you can know what to better use your savings and investment for. For most people, average person who you see traveling up and down, sometimes it is being funded by the investment they've made, the returns on investment over the years. So you now see them traveling and start thinking, where are you making this money? But it is because they have invested over the years. I, for one, most of my traveling, a lot of my investment has contributed to it, because imagine having to be receiving 500,000 naira every 3 months from investing in a company, and then when you put this money together and say maybe 2 to 3 years you save this money, it is enough for you to travel to wherever you want to travel. So that is one thing you need to know. Set financial goals. It might not be as elaborate as you traveling. It might just be you want to visit Obudukato Ranch, you want to buy a new phone. That is a short-term goal, but set it. It will help you to better know what to use your money for, rather than just saving without having like goals set around it. Just like I've talked several times on this channel, you need to create a budget, which is the next step you need to take when planning for your salary. Creating a budget is one thing that should not even be debatable, because if you don't have a budget before your salary comes, you are most likely going to be spending your money based on what your mind is telling you. You know how Nigerians say, as the spirit leads. And that is the fastest way to go down the drain. You are never going to be able to pay yourself first. You're never going to be able to sort out those most important things, because as you have started spending the money in your mind, then you now start finding, I want to buy this shoe, this bag is raining. It is very easy for you to divert money that you're supposed to use for something meaningful or to build wealth in your life, especially if you're one that is earning less than 100k, maybe 100k or 150k around there. You need a budget. That should be no brainer. Even I myself, who is receiving way more than that, I create a budget, because every single thing I'm spending my money on needs to be accounted for. This does not mean that I'm going to be accounting for that cup of coffee that I'm buying, those small things, but that is still under a category which I have tagged personal, because that is my own money inside my budget. You need to create a budget if you want to get better value from your money. For 60 good months, I saved 15,000 naira every single month for 5 good years when I decided to register for Zenith Prudential, and I finally got a payout this last week before filming this video, like very recently. What does that mean? It is just to tell you that you need to automate your savings if you are one that finds it hard to save. But for me to have been disciplined for 60 good months, putting out 15,000 naira, even though that money did not amount to so much, because it was just a basic savings plan that time, I felt like that was the best thing to do. But then it taught me discipline. That experience taught me serious discipline, because having to put out 15,000 naira every month, it will be easier for you to put out 1 million naira every month if you can create such discipline. But one easy way to do so is to automate your savings. If you are finding it hard to save, maybe you decide to buy every other thing before you start saving, you can automate your salary in such a way that it does not even come to your account. Before it hits your account, it has gone to the place it is supposed to go to. That is what you should do. You should automate your savings to help you better manage your money. I know many people have told you these things, but in Nigerian banking apps, they schedule your transfer. It is the same thing as automating your transfer. That should help you better allocate money properly, guide your spending and savings basically. 2021 up until this point I am talking to you right now, I have a budget of what I have spent my salary on every single month, and it is on my notes app in my Samsung phone. So I can always go back to January 2021 and say, what did I spend my salary on? This is just to tell you that you need to track your spending. Like I said earlier, this is not to say that maybe you have to be tracking every cup of coffee that you're buying, but as long as it is under a category, as long as there is a budget, you are bound to see what you spent your money on. It will guide you better on what you're spending your money on. And when they say track your spending, you don't have to track every single penny, maybe that ice cream you bought, that lollipop you bought, no. But you need to have a general idea of what you're spending your money on basically. And one easy way to do this is to go to your bank app, open your history, check through this last month now before this salary comes. Like, what did I spend my money on? Where should I cut some things off? Are there things that are, they are not really necessary, but then, I always find myself doing it, because, we human beings are a creature of habit. So we are bound to always go back to doing the same thing over and over again. But then if you know what you're spending your money on, it is easier for you to look at it and say, this thing is not really necessary. And I don't have enough money to keep, funding this thing. But whereas, I'm complaining every day that I don't have money, then cut that thing off. It is just as easy as that. In addition to the notes app I told you about, every single video I always link a free finance tracker for you guys in the description. I don't know if people are not seeing it, but now you know. Go and check it out. Use it to manage your finances. It is free. I'm not charging you anything for it, so it will be easier for you to be able to track what you're spending your money on. When you have it on a blank slate, you are seeing everything. Choose whichever one is more convenient for you. Maybe you have a notebook that you're dedicated to this, or you have a notes app, or you are using that finance tracker. All that matters is that you are tracking what you're spending your money on. So the last thing is to consider growing your income. You see, your salary can never make you rich. Even when I am one that has said, okay, I earn a little above the average Nigerian, trust me, I have it every day at the back of my mind, telling myself that I know my salary can never make me rich. So it now keeps you on this loop of always thinking like, what should I do next? What can I do to help me make more money? You know, it now feels like you're always thinking of what to do to make more money. And it is when you keep thinking about it that solution is going to come one way or the other. Income growth is very important, especially in this Nigeria. You know, many Nigerians are entrepreneurs as well as salary earners. The two are collabo. So but if you are one that maybe you're struggling, you feel like 100k is no longer enough to fund the lifestyle you want for yourself, or you're aspiring to earn more, pick up a side hustle. There are platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, where you can freelance your skill. Maybe you know how to edit videos, you know how to create thumbnails. Why don't you sell this skill and use it to make more money? You need multiple streams of income, and like I've always said again, you necessarily don't even have to do these other ones to be earning extra income. You can invest, and your investment will be bringing you returns, interest, and you'll be making more money every month. Just like me now, treasury bills have been able to fund my lifestyle in such a way that from January up until July, I make money every month from rolling over my interest. So it has not created this situation whereby every single month I get interest from my treasury bills that I have invested over the years. So your investment also can also fund your lifestyle and be a source of extra income. Even with all that, I'm still looking for more ways to make money. So guys, these are some of the things you can start doing before your salary comes. Not before, it should be a no-brainer. You have to do these things before your salary comes, so that you can better manage what you're spending your money on. Allocating it properly, it will guide you better, so that you have your savings sorted, your wants sorted, your needs sorted. So that's all from your girl for today. I hope it has given you an idea of what you need to do, the 6 things you need to do before your salary comes, and I'll see you guys in my next one. While at it, make sure to check out this other video right here. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and before we go, let's go and check out this other video. Let's go together. Let's go.